James Hartley's bubble. And Tony Marchant moving into number 4. And number 2, Barry Ledger, the St Helens wing. Very, very fast lad coming into the wing position. And there is Barry Ledger, very confident lad. I remember his father, Eric, playing in his day. He was a flyer, he was a sprinter. And of course, Barry Ledger, again, a very, very fast player. A tricky player too. Let's wish him well. But this Great Britain side, they look very nervous to me. Always tell them, here's one man who can't really be nervous, and he can't show much emotion either. He's got to apply logic to this game. Number 7, Derek Fox. He failed to adapt to the kicking game that we should have had in that first test. He's got to pin Australia back to those corners, keep them in their half with long kicks, high kicks and grubber kicks. And Andy Goodway again, number 13, looking to his cover defence. But Australia, a fine side. One or two people have said that the side has been weakened with Dale Shearer coming in and Paul Dunn, but I don't think so. It's as strong as ever when you can leave Lamu Meninga on the substitute spot. So off we go then, the second test here in this series, captained by Wally Lewis. And the referee there in the centre spot, Mr. Julien Rascagnier from France, just waiting his time for scrum half Derek Fox to get the kick-off. Strict disciplinarian, this man. An ex-hooker, so he knows all about the intricacies of pack play. And Derek Fox, the setters off. The second Whitbread Trophy test. Great Britain, of course. Using typical big forwards, driving it in. This has been the tactics all season with them. Using the forwards for 2 or 3 drives, and then Wally Lewis stood out wide, moved the passing out to Kenny and Mize. And this is the man who has controlled this tour so far, skipper Wally Lewis from Queens. Well, that was a bad kick. Australia on the attack. Paul Dunn, first test cap. Back to Brian Neely. Great Britain hoping to wipe out that 38 points to 16, drubbing in the first test. Sterling, good chip kick. And I think that's the beauty of this Australian side, how quick they get up to these kicks. And there's 2 tackles gone already, Alec.
Yes, and this is what they're going to do there. They're going to pin us down, deep down into our own 25. And just speaking to one or two of the journalists from Australia, saying that the Australian last 2 league games have made them more keen to win this match, because they really had 2 hard league matches, and they want to wipe the memory out and put a good performance up here today.
So David Watkinson then, just to take the tap. Great Britain, of course, haven't won a home series in this country since 1959. To Fox. Crooks. Oh, that was a hard tackle, yes. Well, he's given an obstruction. And I must confess, I thought that was a very harsh decision. I think if we had a look at that, it could be a hard shoulder tackle rather than an obstruction. But Mr. Rascagnier's in charge.
I think Mr. Rascagnier has given a penalty. I believe Crooks actually obstructed the man as he took the ball. It looked a 50-50 decision to me, that.
So it's possible first chance here now to Australia. It's a kick under the posts. And already we can remember Michael O'Connor, 5 goals in the first test, 3 tries. 22 points from this man O'Connor, but we're just waiting for David Watkinson to get up. Should be an easy kick for a lad of this class. Broke the test record for 22 points in a match in the first one. And this is just the sort of style that Great Britain didn't want to give. Well, it's not a very good one, but it's accurate. It does go over, and it's 2 points. So O'Connor on the points trail again. Just one goal, 2 points to nil for Australia. And I think a harsh decision there from Mr. Rascagnères, but we can't grumble. He's right on the spot. He's the man in charge, and there's one thing about him. He really does let the players know that he is in charge. Derek Fox out to start again. And it's interesting to see in these test series that Great Britain always seem to be playing in their half. To Kenny. Had a good spell with the Wigan club, this lad Brett Kenny. Won the Lance Todd Trophy for them at Wembley in '85. Sterling. To Niebling, looking for support, but a good tackle there from Ian Potter. Potter, the Wigan second row, in for his tackling ability, usually puts 30 to 40 tackles in. And another penalty. Mr. Rascagnères again insisting that Great Britain let Australia get up to play the ball. And Ian Potter doesn't believe it, but I'm afraid he's going to have to put up with it. And Wally Lewis really kicking badly there, because at the moment there's hardly any wind out. What there is actually swirling possibly behind Lewis. Fieldhouse well into the tackle. Australia tending to use the first 2 or 3 tackles in the 6 tackle system, driving in the forwards, and then Sterling putting the kicks in here. Oh, well picked up. Well picked up by Joe Lydon. Controversial selection this by Maurice Bamford at full-back, but certainly come up trumps so far. But here again, one thing I was saying, always playing in R25. Just 6 minutes gone. Australia still 2 points in the lead. To Crooks. Oh, straight down Jack's throat. To Dowling. Very dangerous when within this 30-yard area of Australia. Niebling. Interesting to see this man, Wally Lewis, always at the hub of things, switching, moving, directing play. Miles, good ball to Gary Jack. Oh, that's good stuff. To Lindner. Great Britain desperate to hold Australia here. Good kick. Oh, he's missed it. Up to Lewis, but good backing up from Lewis. And another 6 tackles. And again, it looks to be another penalty against Myler. Tony Myler protesting. Looks as if he's trying to say that Wally Lewis has done something to him, but it doesn't matter. And really, Great Britain can't afford to give these penalties away. We need every point that they can get. And it looks as if he's going to have a go for goal. And already it looks as if Great Britain are in further trouble. Substitutes. Andy Platt here warming up. But the game carrying on. A difficult kick for O'Connor this. But he has a wind just swirling, I think, in the direction of where this ball's going.
Keep the headset out, it's just used.
But again, like Old Trafford here, this stadium, it's roofed in all around, and the wind does tend to, when you get 30, 40 feet in the air, it does tend to swirl around and take this ball away from the sticks. But O'Connor then, 5 goals in the first test. 16 goals on tour already. And 2 points that Great Britain certainly can't afford to give away.
I'm going to try and get you a headset.
No, the wind just taking it there to the left of the posts. So just 2 points to nil for Australia. Lewis to Shearer. Dale Shearer here, number 5, coming in here for the injured Les Kiss. Just had one cap against New Zealand this summer. Dowling again, using this technique, 1, 2, 3 big forwards, then Sterling or Lewis to move it out wide. The idea being similar to rugby union, like a ruck or a maul, setting it up, bringing the forwards in and hoping to create space out wide. There it is, Lewis now, and again. To Needling. And good cover by that second row, Brian Needling. Joe Lydon. And that's the third kick we've seen Lewis or Sterling put down here in this bottom right-hand corner. Oh, that's a bad miss. Derek Fox trying to turn there, trying to put the move on before he was actually in possession. The scrum down. Peter Sterling to put the ball in. And he gets it to Jack. Oh, here's a chance for Fox. Just couldn't get there quick enough. 10 minutes gone, still 2 points to nil. But Britain in possession. Kevin Ward. Oh, that's a good drive from Ward. This big Castleford prop didn't have the best of the games in the first test, but it takes a little while for a test player to settle down. I've seen him have some very, very good games at Weldon Road. To Myler. Crooks, and he's lost it. 2 drop passes there in the space of a minute. We saw this dropping of passes at Old Trafford. It cost Great Britain heavily. You must absorb the 6 tackles when you have possession against Australia. Sterling puts the ball in again. Oh, that's a good ball from Miles. And that's a good tackle from Lydon on the fullback. Shearer, that's good play, but he's lost it. To Gill. He's a strong lad, this Anderson Gill, the wiggle wing. I don't think he often knows where he's running, but he gets there. Crooks. And a huge roar from this crowd. Very, very big crowd behind them. Oh, that's a good ball. It's a good way. And coach Maurice Bamford, he said that he would attack this pack. He thought he was vulnerable on the edges, and that's exactly what they're doing. Great Britain felt that they threw the ball out too wide in the rain at Old Trafford. To Crooks. Oh, beautiful ball to Myler. And the pressure really on the Kangaroos now. To Fox. A chip. Kenny. Just got over the line. Kenny, Brett Kenny, very keen to get over the line. Otherwise, if he'd been tackled behind, it would have been a dropout under the post. Sterling. And this looks better from Great Britain. Good tackling. Australia have held this Ashes trophy since 1973, and a win here would give it them again. Oh, good tackling. Great Britain at last getting into them. They talk about test matches being tough, and I think this one's going to work out that way. But there again, Lewis putting the ball down here, playing it in Britain half. Good tackle from McConnell. Kevin Ward. Interesting to see that when these Australians first came over, everyone was frightened of the pack, and we felt we had to have tactics not to run at them. And here we are just doing that, but actually showing better play than in the first test when we tried to go round them. Noel Clean. Sterling to Dowling. Wally Lewis looking for that one pass. He doesn't like being tackled, as Wally Lewis. Gene Miles. And a sixth tackle coming up. Peter Sterling, that's a good ball. Oh, but well taken by Barry Ledger. To Schofield. I think it's a good performance so far, Alec, isn't it?
Very, very good game indeed. Great Britain taking the game to Australia. They're really motivated for this game, but the same thing's happening again. We're dropping far too many balls against a good side. But the performance from Kevin Ward in the early stage of this game, who's taking the ball up towards Australia, is a big improvement. And really, we've caused Australia one or two problems. But we must not keep dropping the ball and giving Australia possession. We just can't afford to keep doing that.
Yes, and it's a perfect day. It's ideal weather for handling Australia ball. Lewis. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Fox and Myler to get up very, very quickly and pressure Sterling and Lewis. Otherwise, if we let them run, these Australian outsides will run. Gary Jack. Oh, that's a good ball to Dowling. Sterling. This is dangerous. Well, it looks slightly forward to me, but he's in touch. No problem.
But really, Ray, that was tremendous covering by Great Britain, because it really did look as though it was a forward pass. But there was a tremendous cover from the Great Britain lads. And this is we have what Australia are good at. Wally Lewis holding the ball here, and as he lopes it out, just watch Myers. This is the man, the big strong man. A lovely ball to Dean Shearer, and he just bangs him into touch.
On it, oh, good ball here from Henderson Gill. Gary Jack, and he's beaten him. Tremendous run there from Henderson Gill, the left wing. Taking the ball in the stand-off position to Kevin Ward. A good ball to Gary Schofield. Fox, this is good stuff. Good support play there from Fox and Schofield. Fieldhouse. Henderson Gill just looks to have something wrong with his knee strain. And it's amazing to me how many missed tackles these Australian forwards are putting in. Sixth tackle coming up. Will we see Derek Fox with a high ball here? Test Jack. He does. And he's up to the test. More so.
I think those kind of tactics, Ray, to Gary Jack is just like shelling peas. To put an high ball to Gary Jack, really along the floor where he's a little bit vulnerable when he has to go down for a low ball. I think with Great Britain, he'd be much advised to do what they can do best.
Simmons switching play nicely. Oh, this man, Noel Clean, for a forward, 15 stone 10, his mobility is tremendous. To Lewis. Good tackle. Good tackle from Ian Potter again. It's interesting to see that they're attacking this wing of Henderson Gill. They kicked on Henderson. Remember when it was 16 points to 10 for Australia, and there was just that chance in the first test of Great Britain coming back. It was Henderson Gill who made the crucial mistake on the line. And I think the Australian coach, Don Furner, is playing on him, but not so much effect at the moment. Back to Leiter. That's a good kick, sends Jack back. And Great Britain well up in position. Good tactical kicking there, pushed Australia back 50 yards. And one or two of these Australian pack look to be walking out, don't they?
Yes, not only that, Ray, the tactics are a lot better. We're obeying the tactics now, which Maurice Bamford wants to do, and it's Australia really playing the ball deep in the Great Britain half. One of the players was saying to me, Australia are not the same side when they're in their own 25.
Oh, tremendous sidestep there from Henderson Gill, went straight through Lewis and Kenny. And then what do we get? A knock-on. And I wouldn't be surprised if skipper David Watkinson was coming off. Barry Ledger. It's a good way. Great Britain then, still in possession. Crooks. Oh, good dummy from Crooks. Well, he was looking for Derek Fox to follow him. The typical rugby league run around. The scrum half should have followed the forward. Kevin Ward. Oh, good pass to Myler, but he's lost it. Whistle gone. A knock-on. And David Watkinson, the skipper, looks to be in trouble. Limping. Now this is a big blow to Great Britain to lose the hooker in the first half of a test. I'm sure he would want to stay on if he could. He's a very, very tough player. And Andy Platt, St Helens, had experience of hooking, and I think we'll find him go up to the hooking position. I think just a knock here for Brian Niebling, just under the left cheekbone. Andy Platt, Alec, has hooked regularly for your club, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's done the job. He's used to doing it, and I don't think Andy Platt will let this side down at all. He'd be very keen, Ray, to play, because at Old Trafford he was looking forward to going on. I think Great Britain have gained in another tackling forward.
And I think we can see there the number of mistakes that Great Britain are making. Time and time again, it's Peter Sterling to put the ball in. And time again, it's Peter Sterling to get it. To Jack.
It's nice to see, Ray, isn't it, really, that the Australians are human, and when they're knocked down, they cringe like most people, and they don't like being knocked down.
No, and one or two of these big forwards, Alec, are certainly being knocked down. 18 minutes to half-time still, 2 points to 0, and that must be the smallest score to date on this Australian tour for them. Miles playing the ball himself. Tony Marchant, number 4 there, tackling him. It's surprising, but in the summer, Miles and Marchant were the wing partnership for the Wynnum Manley club at Brisbane. But that's a fine kick. Beautiful kick there. Peter Sterling pushing Great Britain back onto the line. And at last, Derek Fox with a chance to put the ball in the scrum. Mr. Rascagne wanting these scrums right. He wants the scrum right, he wants it level, parallel to the touchline. I don't think he got it, the referee did, but Derek Fox got it. Good way. Kevin Ward. Andy Platt there didn't expect the ball, was standing still when it was delivered to him. Oh, that was a bad pass. Silly pass when you're on your own 25-yard line. The sort of pass, Ali, that you give at the other end of the field, isn't it?
Yes, really, and really tactics again we're talking about, Ray. We've just seen Joe Lydon plant the ball deep down in the Australian half, and they're very, very vulnerable when they play in their own 25. They don't like being pinned down deep down in their own territory.
And I think a little bit of frustration and impatience setting in. I think the Great Britain side have got to be very, very patient with this Australian side. Lewis to Clean. Sterling. Oh, that's a good ball. Well, we should have had that. Great Britain's Kevin Ward had the ball, then he lost it. Sterling again. This is the man who's making everything tick. Well taken. Very well judged by Tony Myler. He looked the part of a full-back there, did Tony. Good way. Some very hard tackling going in this second test. Peter Sterling limping. Knock on the thigh. Fieldhouse. There's certainly a determined mood in this British camp. I was speaking to some of the players on Thursday evening, and they were really determined to do better than that first test. They felt that they were better. Good ball to Ledger. Fox. Kevin Ward. Ledger again. Oh, this is beautiful play. Tony Myler. He split the field. He's got Derek Fox. Schofield with him. Well, it's a chase. I don't think he should have kicked. He should have passed. But a magnificent piece of rugby. Gary Schofield came on his inside. I'm sure Schofield could have gone for the line if he'd passed. But Tony Myler elected to kick. But once again, it shows that this Australian side can be split apart. Tony Myler didn't have the pace to get onto that very, very long kick. But it's Australia that let off there.
I think really that should have produced a try, because that was a magnificent move by Great Britain, and we really put Australia on the rack. I think all Tony Myler had to do was look right and look left. He had Fieldhouse, he had Schofield in support, and really all he had to do was let the ball go.
And have we seen an Australian side like this? All this pack is bunched in midfield, it's walking, and it's taking the best of Lewis and Sterling to get it going. That's a good run from Paul Dunn. This big number 10 came in for the injured Steve Rhodes from the Canterbury Bankstown club. Just had a match against Papua New Guinea. To Miles, good pass. Oh, and a good move. As well as Great Britain are playing, such is the class of these Australians as individuals there. One of them can very, very easily pull a try out of the bag. Mr. Rascagne, 38 years of age, he keeps up with play very, very quickly. Still 2 points to nil, that lone goal from O'Connor. Just 13 minutes to half-time. Good performance this from Great Britain. Oh, well. Just as I was praising them on it, we see something like that.
Yes, and it's just a basic thing again, and I am pleased with the way Great Britain are playing. I think Derek Fox has got to realise that Great Britain can move this ball about, and he's not got to go down the middle and try beat him on his own.
Can he? Don't let this man get into the clear. Very, very speedy. O'Connor. Playing the blind side sensibly, I think, trying to pull the Great Britain cover across to the right there. Then the opening out to Cleal. Oh, this is very dangerous. It's a try. Bob Lindner, no problem. And that's what we were talking about. Just when Great Britain seemed to be troubling Australia, they have the individual brilliance that we saw there from Noel Cleal. Big, high, stepping second row. Leapt through, sidestepped his way through, and the support play there from Bob Lindner. 6 points to nil for Australia.
Well, world class, would you believe it? Under pressure, but what about him? He looks like a back. Sidesteps one, sidesteps the other, and still has time to release the ball. Bobbling when Great Britain didn't want it, does it. Anybody would like to have this fella as a three-quarter, not as a forward. Jinks off the right, jinks off the left, looks inside, looks right, looks left. Bob Linder cannot believe it.
Yes, and when we look closely at that, he went through 2 forward tackles, and there's no excuse for that. But again, it comes down to what we've been saying. If you play these Australians within 30 yards of your own line, you've no chance. So O'Connor then. Straight forward kick, 2 points. 8 points to 0 for Australia. Just 11 minutes to go in this first half. Australia take the one chance that they have. Great Britain have the chance and miss it.
I think we could also say, Ray, that really that's been against a run of play, because Great Britain have created a couple of chances and really should have put them away. But you can't do missed chances against a great side, and this is a great side.
Dale Shearer. To Dowling. Use this chap, Greg Dowling, the big prop from Brisbane, 15 stone 6, the Wynnum Manley club, driving it in, sucking in the tacklers. Him, Noel Cleal, and Paul Dunn. Sterling, Lewis. Good cover tackle there from number 10, John Fieldhouse. To Needham. Simmons. Oh, that's a good tackle. Shoulder straight in the midriff from Andy Platt. Sterling again. And he's lost it. To Ward. Crooks. Got good way coming. Can he get it to Ledger? He does. Has to come inside Barry Ledger there. He did well there. He knew that he would have been pushed into touch. He wanted to retain possession. There's still 2 or 3 tackles to go for Great Britain. Crooks. Oh, that's a lob ball, but it's effective. No. Tony Miley. Oh, beautiful ball to Fox. Platt. Just can't get it away. And this is good, entertaining rugby from Great Britain, if they can just maintain the pressure. Kevin Ward. Well, he got it away. To Fox. No way through. And the 6th tackle. Well, Great Britain have tested Gary Jack once with a high ball. Are they going to put it to the corners? Yes, he does. Joe Lydon. Sensible play that, I think, from Joe Lydon, Ollie.
Yes, and I think that's very intelligent play by Joe Lydon. He realises that Gary Jack doesn't like the ball along the floor. He's a big lad and it takes him a long time to get down. But this is what Great Britain's got to do. It's a lot better performance, and if they can just score a try now, I think Australia will be in a lot of trouble.
It's a big if, Alec. But it's Peter Sterling there, put the ball in. And he gets it. The crowd, a huge roar on the far side there. I think they were accusing Peter Sterling of feeding the scrum, but that's a good scrum half if he can get away with it. Greg Dowling. Australia doing the sensible thing here, settling it down with the forwards. Oh, well, that wasn't a very good ball, but it's a fortunate one. And it's a chase, and nobody's covering across. O'Connor, he's on his own. He must score, and he does. A try from absolutely nothing. Well, that was very, very slack cover. There was no try on there. In fact, it was a very, very bad ball, and those Australian supporters all the way from Brisbane, that section there, well, they must be overjoyed at that try, but quite honestly, there should never have been a try on. O'Connor was surrounded by 2 or 3 forwards. All they had to do was push him into touch.
And this all started, Ray, from a really bad ball. But look at Noel Cleal, who steps out of the way. Now, where is the cover? Dear, oh dear, where is the full-back? He comes back from Joe Lydon there. Nobody behind, nobody in front, Tony O'Connor. He cannot believe his luck. It still needs scoring. It bobbles a little bit. He picks it up and just puts it over.
Yes, and I think there I would have been looking for the left wing. Henderson Gill should have been coming, covering across there instead of staying out on that wing. But this is it. These are the Australians. They can be under pressure 1 minute and on the try line at the next minute. So Connor then, 6 minutes to the half-time. Already got 2 goals to his credit, 1 try to his credit. Looking now for a 3rd goal. And he misses it. 12 points to 0 then for Australia. And in all honesty, they've rarely pressed, they've rarely been on top of Great Britain, but yet nevertheless they've pulled out the tries, and that's the ability of a class side. Given half a chance and they're in. But quite honestly, that wasn't a half chance, Alec.
Well, this is it again. Michael O'Connor here. He's plenty of time, there's plenty cover, and really somebody should have knocked him down there because the ball is in the middle. He can't believe it. This one's picking up from Michael O'Connor. It bobbles a little bit. He picks it up and plants it right in the middle.
So back to play. Crowd suddenly gone quiet again. The very minute that the huge crowd get behind Great Britain, this green and gold machine, the Kangaroos have a way of silencing them.
I think what we've not got to let happen now, Ray, is to let Australia really get on top, because the Great Britain lads have been playing some good football, and they've got to keep on playing it. They've got to contain Australia and not let them get over again.
To Sterling, and these are the 2 men, Sterling, Lewis. How many times do we keep saying this? First receiver, second receiver, Sterling to Lewis. They put the passes in, they put the kicks in. To Lydon. And look at the man there. The man who at first receiver put the pass in, Peter Sterling. He's there 65 yards upfield, first into the tackle. Just 4 minutes left in this half. Great Britain certainly not want to take any more points and be looking for something. Fox out to Myler. Schofield. A good cover there from Noel Cleal. I think again an indication of Cleal's speed there. Gary Schofield, very fast lad, scored 2 tries in the first test, but he couldn't go round that second row forward. Back to Lydon. Shearer.
Just talking to 1 or 2 of the Australian lads, Ray, and they've been saying that Don Shearer has had him training twice a day. So really how keen they are, and you can bet your life on this, they'll be very, very fit.
Sterling to Miles. This is good rugby. Australia suddenly seem to be able to move up another gear. Linder to Dowling. And that's a good tackle, but Linder's there, back in support. Still going well, he's gone through 3 tackles. That's a bad tackling. When it takes a scrum half, number 7 to have to pull him down. And Noel Cleal launching himself again. Wally Lewis going for the line. Just inches short. And Great Britain hanging on here before the half. Dowling, well, he's on his back. Can't score a try, on his back. And a penalty. Wally Lewis looks upset at that. Well, how does this man control this Australian side? And a lead off there, 2 minutes to half-time for Great Britain.
Well, this is a magnificent run here. Just look at the tackling. Very, very good tackling here from Great Britain. Just turning Greg Dowling over on his back.
To Ward. It's way back in 1978 at Hodsall Stadium, Bradford, since Great Britain last beat an Australian side. 18 points to 14 then. And we're certainly going to have to be looking for a recovery in this second half. To Platt. Andy Platt coming on for the injured David Watkinson. Jack. Good play from Derek Fox. He was the lad who put the kick in. He's the lad, number 7, putting the tackle in as well. And another one.
I think Maurice Bamford, Ray, will be a lot happier than what he was at Old Trafford, because at least he can see that Great Britain have competed for 40 minutes, and I don't think really that the score really represents the game, but you've got to take chances against good sides like this.
The problem is, Alec, with Australia, the score never does seem to represent the game, but they have the ability to score, don't they?
Yes, well, you've got great players, Ray, and unfortunately they can score tries from any part of the field, and this is what they do. They put you under so much pressure, they let you attack and then draw all the sting out of you and then just flatten you with a KO punch.
And Sterling trying for a drop, rather forlornly, I think. I think Peter Sterling's just waiting for the half-time hooter. I think he's quite content just to, on the 6th tackle there, keep Great Britain, with 40 minutes gone in this first half, just plugging away here with the 6 tackles from the forwards. Andy Goodway. 12 points to 0 for Australia. 2 snap tries. Kevin Ward. Yes, holding the referee Julian Rascagnier clenching his arms there, indicating that Australia were holding Kevin Ward down, not allowing him to get into the play. And that's a good kick from Lydon. Andy Platt to Ward. Good battle between those two props, Dunn and Ward there. 2 big lads to Crooks. Myler, Schofield. What a good tackle by Gene Miles. Tony Myler. And there's the hooter. Australia must play on. To Joe Lydon. This tackle will seal the first half. Well, Tony Marchant tries it again. It's a chase for the line, but I think it's too deep. It is. That's it. Another chance gone begging there from Tony Marchant, but he just didn't have the pace to get there. We saw a chance in the first half and points on the board against this Australian side. So 40 minutes to go, 12 points to 0 for Australia. And the man orchestrating everything, Peter Sterling. Wally Lewis, the captain, he must be well pleased with that first half, because Australia haven't really put their game together, just been rescued by 2 tries from Lindner and O'Connor. But that's the quality of the side. Lewis. And a bad mistake.
Well, Ray, that is exactly what happened at Old Trafford, at Henderson Gale at Old Trafford. I just hope that the end result's not the same, because from this position, Australia went and scored a try under the sticks.
Peter Sterling. Tremendous character, this lad. Only 11 stone, 5'7", and yet he holds his own with the big lads. Interesting to see number 5, Dale Shearer, there, coming in off the wing, just giving a little bit of help to his forwards, as if they need them. Cleal. Manages to get the ball away. They should be clamping that ball Cleal again, doing some running, doing some damage. The problem is the last 20 minutes of this game, when Great Britain have had to absorb these big men running at them. Oh, that's a good ball. And he's lost it. Well, I think Michael O'Connor just handed the ball over there, and Derek Fox gratefully accepted it.
I don't think it's Christmas threat, Ray, because Michael O'Connor almost just handed the ball to him, and he just said, thank you very much, and played it.
Well, let's see what we can do with it. Good way. England desperate to get a try in these opening minutes. To Gill.
Very, very impressive. Number 11, Ray, Noel Cleal. He's a big man, isn't he? He's looking as though he wants to take part in this game, because to me he could be the match winner for them.
To Jack. Oh, and he rounds Schofield easily. And that's a beautiful ball to O'Connor, inside to Kenny. Oh, this is dangerous. But a good cover tackle from Derek Fox. To Dunn. Still going. Lost it. And I think that was a fortunate drop ball there from Paul Dunn. And good to see Barry Ledger coming in off the wing there. 45 yards, this St Helens wingman covered across for you to pick up. That's what a wingman should be doing. No good a wingman just standing on his right wing. If action's on the left, he's got to be covering across. Well done, Ledger. To Ward. Crooks. And a knock on. The problem is, I think we rarely go 6 tackles with the ball, do we? We either knock on, we throw a wild pass out, or we do something silly.
Well, basic rugby, Ray, is hold the ball twice and play the ball out wide. But Great Britain are really panicking. There's only played 5 minutes of this half, and they're throwing the ball about as though they've only 5 minutes left.
Linder. Oh, that's a good run. He's impressing me more and more, this number 13, Bob Linder. He hopes to play for Castleford at the end of this tour. And I'm sure I think they've got a good bargain. Sterling again, weaving, dodging, moving about. And he loses it. There's a lot of lost ball at the moment. I think both sides seem to think that they've got to score every time they have it. Fox. To Crooks. Oh, and another lost ball. Well, it's hardly worth commenting on. Dunn. Great Britain really got to pull themselves back. Australia now, Niebling.
I think what's happening, Ray, with Lee Crooks is wants to get his 3 quarters moving. He's just trying to do it at the wrong moments. I think if he just hold the ball and settle down a little bit, there's plenty of time to move the ball across the park. But Australia moving up so quickly, they're finding it very difficult.
And he's in touch. Well, Gene Miles has a good lap there with Henderson Gill, and they get a penalty. And I don't think Gene Miles can believe it. But at least there's effort there from Great Britain. There's some drive. Just hold that ball, and can we produce a try? And Wally Lewis again, arguing with Mr. Rascagnère. But Mr. Rascagnère, he's standing no messing from Lewis. He does a lot of talking. He likes to referee the game, does Wally. But that's a good kick. Now Great Britain, what can we do? Fox in possession. To Myler. Is it a trip? Well, Mr. Rascagnère lets the game go on. Gary Jack. To Linder. Flat. Ball done. Made a good debut in Anglo-Australian Test, this number 10. Very tall for a prop forward in rugby league, 6'2". And there's a lot of indecision, Alec, amongst the Australian pack, if only we could get amongst them, isn't there?
Yes, I think what's happening with the Australian lads, I think they're not supporting the man, and they realise they don't know who wants the ball. Sterling's laying the ball off. I think the call's wrong, but as soon as they get it worked out, you'll find out they'll come a lot stronger. There is a little bit of indecision, but that's because Great Britain are moving up also.
Goodway, 6 minutes gone, still 12 points to 0. Oh, that's a good ball to Henderson Gill. Well, he's looked dangerous, Henderson Gill, if he could just escape from the midfield. Schofield, Cooks. I think the problem for Great Britain is that we're going to be moving into a situation shortly whereby we're going to have to keep passing this ball. We've got to get some points on the board. And Australia, of course, can just sit there quite composed with a 12-0 lead and wait for accidents. I think coach Don Fern will be very content just to see Australia in this half, settling it down, keeping it going through the forwards.
Yes, and this Brian Niblin, the lad playing the ball, he's a very, very strong workman-like forward, and this fella's a class forward. This is what the difference between the Australians. They've got runners, tacklers, and they've also got brilliant players.
Cleal to Dunn. Suddenly these Australian forwards seem to be coasting, and all of a sudden they put 2 or 3 passes together at speed, and the size takes them through. Sterling, good ball to Lewis. Oh, and he's in. Magnificent pass from Sterling. And Wally Lewis, well, he went round 3 tackles. Just as we were saying, the Australian coach Don Ferney was quite content to have his side camp out in the Great Britain half. Then the pass came and Lewis was in. 16 points to 0. And I must say once again that it's that half-back duo, Sterling and Lewis, dictating everything. They're the difference between these two sides. Another easy kick for O'Connor. Should be no trouble to him, this. Already got 2 in the first half. And there's his third. 18 points to 0. Australia now looking commanding position.
Well, this is why they're rated the best 2 half-backs in the world. Just watch Peter Sterling. Absolutely perfect pass. Big Wally Lewis, inside 1, inside 2, right in the middle of the sticks. And here we have it again. Look at the ball off Peter Sterling, but look at Wally Lewis. Jinx one way, jinx the other, 1 man shaken off, 1 bad tackle, and just plows past Joe Lydon. Good try.
Yes, 3 tackles there, Lewis went through. And Australia, similar pattern. Driving, 3 tackles with the forwards. And Mr. Rascagney's similar pattern of the first and second test. He's insistent that he wants the players to be allowed to play the ball, and I think he's quite right. He doesn't want any lying on at the tackle. Good kick from Sterling. This little general directing everything. I think his shoulder pads weigh more than him.
I think also, Ray, we're now approaching the danger zone where if Australia do happen to break loose here, you know, the floodgates could open, because they look as though they want to run with the ball. They've got the second wind. Everybody's supporting the man with the ball, and they look very dangerous to me.
Oh, yes, and there's that man, Noel Cleal, to Gary Jack, and he's in. Again. Weak tackling from Great Britain. No holding Noel Cleal. And Gary Jack is in under the post. 10 minutes gone, and suddenly from 12-0 to 22-0. In for the kill. The quality and the class of these Australians. And this man, number 11, well, he has the sidestep, he has the pace of a centre three-quarter. And Gary Jack reading the game well, ran off him well there.
Well, my man of the match, Grizzly Adams, he's got the ball. Just watch him go. Jinx inside. Gary Jacks cannot believe it. M62 motorway, right down. Whoa.
And there's one thing about the Australians, they certainly present some simple kicks for Michael O'Connor. He's having a field day, this lad, in this test series. And another one for him. No problems to Michael O'Connor. This St George centre playing on the wing for Australia. 24 points to 0. Great Britain now must come back, must play some rugby. This lad Derek Fox now behind the scrum. He's really got to get his forwards going. He can't surrender here. There's a long time to go. Dale Shade. Oh, that's a good run and a good tackle from Fox. To Gene Miles.
I think also now we've got to realise that Great Britain have not got to be worried about Australia. They can play and they can take the ball to them. I don't think they've got to give the game up, because I think Australia can be scored against. All we've got to do is have the confidence to do it.
And they can score tries. We've seen that, Alec, in the first test with those three.
Yes. The thing we've got to do is hold the ball for 6 tackles, Ray. We've got to hold the ball. We're losing on the first and second tackle, but we can play and play a lot better, and I think the lads will just keep battling to the end.
To Joe Lydon. Good tackle straight in the midriff. Well, Henderson Gill, he's coming in, he's looking for play. I think this is one lad, this Wigan wing, who's saying, well, I'm not stopping out on the wing there. I want some of the action. To Goodway. Yes, and that must be about the 6th penalty against either side for lying on at the tackle. Oh, and good play, adventurous play, well done from Great Britain. Wanting to do something. To Crooks. Well, it was well intended by Goodway, but he couldn't get there. Kenny's away. It was a well-intended pass by Andy Goodway, but he just couldn't get it out. He hadn't got sight of the man. And here is Australia again. Gary Jack. Good tackle from Potter. Desperate cover tackle there from number 12 for Great Britain, Ian Potter. And Great Britain, pressure on again. Suddenly we're coming away, we lose the ball, and then it's back to square one. To Miles. Neebly. And a knock-on. And I think a respite there, Alec, for Great Britain.
Yes, I think also, Ray, the man in the middle, Mr. Rascanier, he's having a magnificent game. He's keeping the game moving, he's keeping both sides back, and really, when you think this fella, well, I wouldn't stand there if I was you, pal. Definitely, he's in the middle of that scrum, and how dangerous does he know if he's in?
Well, he certainly got out quick enough then. Play on, Derek Fox. No, just doesn't beat Lindner. And a second tackle from Lindner. We've got to get the ball away. To Crooks. Kevin Ward. A long kick, a good kick. We've got to get up there. Tony Myler, Goodway, Tony Marchant, and good tackle. Good tackle. 25 minutes left in this match. Australia 24 points to 0. I'm sure Great Britain dearly look some tries to go on the board. But this is the half that we've got to play the game in. We're far too content to fritter away 5 or 6 tackles in our own half, Alec.
And also, this looks very ominous on the touchline now. Big Mal Meninga's warming up as this Noel Cleal gets the ball. He can release it, and Australia looks as though they want to open the floodgates, but I'm just wondering whether Meninga and what position he's going to go. When you can have a man like him sat on the bench, it just shows you the quality of the Australian side.
Australia on the attack. Sterling to Kenny. Well, we lost it. He's got it back, but I think it's a double knock-on. Lee Crooks just couldn't take the ball. And stoppage in play. Mal Meninga keen to come on, but it doesn't look as if the player who's due to come off is keen to come off. No. Well, play on. Fox in possession to Myler. Tony Myler unable to get the ball away. The good centre play from Brett Kenny coming in, stopping him, and he's lost it. He's pinched the ball.
Really, Ray, we've got to start learning to hold the ball for 6 tackles. I mean, Australia just running riot. We can't afford to let them run with the ball like we're doing now.
Gary Jack, and he must be into the corner there. He is. Magnificent play, and all that came off a lost ball. Tony Myler wins the ball from the scrum. We're going away. Wally Lewis steals the ball, and suddenly, in seconds, we're up to 28 points to nil. 3 or 4 of these green and gold lads run onto the ball, and it's all over. Magnificent side. You can't make a single mistake in a game. They'll punish you.
All from a simple mistake. Greg Dowling, big man, looks inside, looks round, knows there's going to be support, doesn't have to realise, but the try has to be scored, and look who's on hand again. Gary Jacks, brilliant coming forward, goes past Goodway, vain attempt, and what a brilliant try.
And at least with this try, Gary Jacks decided to give Michael O'Connor some kicking practice. His most difficult one of the match. 4 tries, 4 goals already to his credit. Looking for a 5th. He got 5 at Manchester, but not here yet. So no goal, but I don't think Michael O'Connor will be too bothered about that. 28 points to nil for Australia.
And here we have it again. Greg Dowling holds the ball. He holds it just long enough to have support from Peter Sterling. Peter Sterling holds it for Gary Jack. This needs scoring. This has to be scored. All the confidence in the world, and what a good try.
So Great Britain then still finally looking for a try. And Australia now oozing confidence. It's amazing to think how far the Australian Rugby League has come since that meeting way back in 1908 when Australian Rugby League was formed by the famous cricketer Victor Trumper in his sports shop in Sydney. Command the world. Substitute Sean Edwards, just come on for Tony Myler. Back to Sterling. It's a little bit like basketball here. Shearer.
Really, Ray, this is an exhibition on football. Out of play, it's run back up and tackle, and these fellas are masters at it. They just support the man with the ball. They're not frightened of moving the ball out, and when they have it, they play it to the full.
Back to Lewis. To Ledger. Never really had many clear-cut chances, this lad Barry Ledger. He's invariably been caught having to pick the ball up, but he's done a good job. Kevin Moore.
What we've got now, Ray, really, is we need a leader from really to keep the lads' heads up, because we've not got to throw the towel in. They've got to compete with the end, and they've got to just keep trying.
Yes, 20 minutes ago, Crooks, good attacking kick there, pushing him back in the corner. Ledger, looking for him. But look who's back there, Wally Lewis. That's good captaincy. When you're in trouble, the skipper's there, he takes the ball, he's quite content to go down. To Niebling. Got a bad cut just under his eye as this lad Niebling. They were trying to bring him off from Mal Meninga before, but he doesn't want to come. And I think this Great Britain side are still going in, they're still trying to put the tackles in the middle, but this is the man, Peter Sterling, with these passes, creating the gaps. Dowling. Back to Sterling. Oh, that's a good pass to Kenny. Shearer. And he's lost him. Now, Great Britain looking to open out the play. And I think, Gary, that's the first offside I can remember in the game.
Yes, it's been a very, very fast game. I think, really, Ray, we've not got to worry about offside. I think what this big crowd would love to see is a Great Britain try. We've really got to, put a try on the board. We cannot expect these people to come supporting without any compensation at the end of it.
Fieldhouse. To Crooks. Well, Lee Crooks dropped 4 to 5 balls here this afternoon. He is a good ball player under normal circumstances. We remember him making those 2 tries for Gary Schofield in the first test. And I think one of the problems with Lee is trying to do a little bit too much when he gets the ball. I think he's concentrating on trying to get the ball out rather than driving it. And a battle there with Brett Kenny and Derek Fox. I don't think many will want to put this man down, Noel Cleal. Niebling.
You wouldn't believe it looking at it, Ray, but looking at the programme notes, that some of these Australians and Great Britain are actually a bigger side. They come out pound for pound, a couple of pounds heavier. Well, I wouldn't think of that looking at the green and gold. They must put something in the jerseys.
Lewis. Oh, good tackling there. Andy Platty and Potter still going to the end, still looking to upset them. Lewis. Oh, Peter Sterling, beautiful play to Miles, to Kenny. And it's still going. Tremendous passing. And that little man, Peter Sterling, in the middle of it all. The little chip kick from Lewis, the catch from Sterling. Magnificent stuff. It's exhibition rugby league at its best.
I think one or two of the journalists, Ray, actually said, was this side as good as the 1982 side? This side is a very, very good side, and I think we'll see them a good side for many years to come. They're playing exciting football, they support the man with the ball, and they're still not satisfied, they're still arguing with the referee.
Yes, one of the frightening things, Alec, it's the youngest ever Australian touring side, so what's to come in another 4 years' time?
Well, I just think we've got to go back to the drawing board and just keep at it, Ray. But they are a good side, and Great Britain now, really, if they can just put 1 try on the board, I think 1 or 2 of this large crowd will go home very, very happy.
Great Britain then, in possession. Fox, Crooks. Not getting anywhere. Looking to do the run around with Fox, but he wouldn't. Offside. Lee Crooks looking to get the ball away, and I think he's taken a heavy knock in that tackle. Looks around the jaw area.
I think he looks, Ray, as though he's got a knock really in the jaw. I think it was an accident, but you'll find out that the physio, Mike Stable, is holding the jaw, and it is a knock probably with the amount of the tackle.
And of course, Great Britain could have a further problem on here. The doctor on there tending to him, and Mike Stabler. Great Britain have no further substitutes to come on. Sean Edwards is on for Tony Myler, and Andy Platt's on for David Watkinson. So I think everyone will be hoping that Lee Crooks has just taken a knock and that there's not too much serious damage. Nice to see Wally Lewis there inquiring. A nice show of sportsmanship from the Australian captain. Oh, he doesn't find touch. Barry Ledger. Incredible to think how dominance in rugby league has swung round. Up to 1959, Great Britain had won 9 out of 10 series against the Kangaroos. And since then, we've won 1. Shaun Edwards. First real touch of the ball. Crooks. No problems for Gary Jack. He's shown something of his pace, this Balmain fullback.
Also, kicking balls like that to him is like giving donkey strawberries. I think it's just one of the things where you don't give him the ball, you must put the ball behind him because he's a very, very dangerous attacker coming forward.
Australia, I think, still looking to score. I don't think they're going to set back and settle on the laurels. I think they're looking for more points. And here's a man who could give it them, Noel Cleal. Oh, beautiful pass to Lewis again. Lindner. Copybook play, the drive, the plunge by Noel Cleal. Good half-back play backing up, and the loose forward coming out wide. Sterling. Dowling. To Dunn.
I don't know who's judging the man of the match, Ray, but it must going to be very, very difficult. You could give it any one of 13, but the way this big number 11 playing Noel Cleal, he does remind me a little bit of that programme Grizzly Adams. I don't know whether it's the bird or the fella, but he's a big man and he's having a magnificent game.
Tony Marchant. Yes, Noel Cleal, he goes wild boar hunting when he's out in the bush in Australia, and I wouldn't like to be any of those wild boars. Ledger. 12 minutes left. Great Britain still trailing 28 points to 0, but looking for a try, and I think we've got to move the ball out. We've got to throw the ball about, but I think one or two of these midfield players now are looking very, very tired. They've taken a lot of pressure from this Australian pack. And Cleal again, ripped the ball out to Lewis. O'Connor. Back to Dunn. And there's the support play. A prop forward linking up there. And trouble here for Great Britain. Lewis. One of his long... Oh, magnificent pass from Sterling. Have we ever seen anything like that? To Miles. Inside. And oh, Dowling knocks off. Well, what a fate for that prop forward. He can afford to grin. But that pass from Wally Lewis to Sterling, and then the flick pass behind him from Peter Sterling. Sheer artistry. And I think Greg Downing will wish tonight he never arrived in that position to go over the line. But it was wonderful play. Lee Crooks. Crooks still vainly trying the plunge, trying to get the ball around for the half-backs. But neither the plunge or the half-backs are coming.
And that looks very bad, Ray. When we've got Andy Goodway attacking half-back, we've really got to get somebody down there now who can say, well, I want to go around, I want to run with the ball.
To Lewis. Kenny. O'Connor, he's got pace, this lad. Gary Jack. Kenny. And he's in. No problem. 3 quick passes, lightning speed and support play. Jack, Connor and Kenny. And Brett Kenny puts the points on the board. 10 minutes left, and what an awesome task facing Great Britain. 32 points to 0, and the sheer speed of the man. The opportunism of the man. Brett Kenny, adjudged the best player in the world, won the Golden Boot trophy this season. And he shows something there.
Well, Brett Kenny won the Golden Boot Award and really wanted to have a big game today. He was very disappointed he let 3 tries, missed 3 tackles, but he makes up with a try like this. And look who it is again. Gary Jacks flicks the ball inside. Kenny, he loves these chances. Just watch him, very arrogant and very nonchalant.
Yes, a very confident player. Great Britain huddled behind the post, bemoaning their fate. Michael O'Connor hoping to add another 2 points. Not an easy kick this, well out to the left of the post, but he slides it round, he just about gets it. And that's his 5th goal of the match. He equals his number. He scored at Old Trafford, and this man could be on his way, with the 3rd test still to come in a fortnight, to beating Mal Meninga's 48 points in a series. And the first rain of the day beginning to come down, as if to signal the gloom, I think, that will descend on the British camp. But nevertheless, this afternoon lightened by the brilliant play of these Australians. And again, Alec, how many times do players have to be told about lying on a man?
Well, I can't believe it, Ray. Getting beaten 34 points to nil and giving Australia free kicks. It's not bad enough from giving the ball, but really we've got to have more discipline than that. And that is a very bad kick from Peter Sterling.
8 minutes left. Can Britain pull a try out of the back? Derek Fox. But the tackling of these Australians looks as keen as when they started at 2:15. Lee Crooks. And he's lost it again. Noel Cleal again. He seems to make a beeline for Lee Crooks and takes the ball off him. Dowling. And when you're on top and you're leading with 34 points, everyone wants to be in on the act, even prop forwards like this man, Paul Dunn.
The good thing about it, Ray, is every time there's a break, there's a green and gold jersey there. No matter what happens, who breaks, there's always a man in support. And when you think of who is getting the man of the match, my man of the match would be Noel Cleal. He's had an absolutely magnificent game.
Cleal again. And he got it back. And he even fooled the referee, Mr. Rascagnier, a little bit like a juggling act. To Sterling. That's a good kick. But no, it doesn't go in. Barry Ledger. Andy Goodway, and I really don't think that there's anything to be gained here. We've gone through 4 tackles there, 4 have played the balls, and we've not moved it out wide. We've got to give someone a run out on these wings. Lee Crooks. To Fox. Ward. Amazing when you think that the Australia are 34-0 in the lead, and yet their defence is as strong as ever. They don't want to try to be scored against them. Good touch.
It's incredible, really, Ray, when you come to think that this Great Britain side have been better prepared than any other touring side, and really put in a performance like this. We've got to really start putting it together. I know it's a little bit late, but 1 or 2 of the heads have been dropping, and Australia are just running riot.
Yes, and a good decision there from a referee. You can tell he was a hooker in his playing days. Even though he's on the other side of the scrum, he knew there was no way that ball could be taken against the head, and it was a loose arm paddling the ball back. So 5 minutes left. Can Great Britain at last get the points on the score sheet? Not even had a shot at goal so far. To Crooks. 5 tackles to do it. 5 minutes left. Fox. Potter. But I don't think we'll get anywhere just driving in here, 1s and 2s. Fieldhouse. Kevin Ward. And at last the crowd still getting behind them, still urging Great Britain on. Sean Edwards. Now this defence is as solid as ever. I just look at cover there, Noel Cleal, second row, right out on the wing, covering across to Fox. That's a good chip. Henderson is going, but Kenny. Sheer class. Spotted it, came in from the centre. No problem.
And this also, Ray, is a position where Australia are very, very dangerous. They look as though they're defending 1 minute and they could go the full length of the field the next. But really, they're a good side, because when Great Britain have the ball, that is determined not to let them score, and that is the mark of a very good side indeed.
Lewis content to put Great Britain right down in their own half. He knows the Ashes trophy is on the way home down under. Yet again. Last time Great Britain held it in 1970, when Castleford's current coach, Malcolm Reilly, performed so well with the side out there. Ian Potter. 3 minutes to go. Kevin Ward. Good driving run from Ward to Schofield. But he can't get away from Brett Kenny. We didn't see a lot of Brett Kenny in the first test, but my word, he's shown his true qualities in this one. Fox. No problem for Jack. Oh, O'Connor's missed it, and here's a chance, and he scored. Yes. Well, all credit to Gary Schofield, the master poacher. He scored 2 tries in the first test. He's got 1 in the third test. And let's not tell anyone that it came from an Australian mistake, but good luck to Gary Schofield. He was there on the spot. He picked the mistake up, and it was there. So at last, Great Britain points on the score sheet.
Well, it's been a long, long time coming, and I don't think Jarry Gatch, he's made 5 tries, and he's probably give 1 away. He'll not be very happy about this. And Schofield, Gary Schofield, always on hand, and takes his chance well.
And, well, it looks as if the Australians are going to put a substitute on, but Lee Crooks to take the kick. No, misses it, swings it well wide of the post. Just that lone try then to Schofield. 34 points to 4.
Well, this is it again here. Gary Jacks throws the ball out here to Michael O'Connor. Gary Schofield on hand, as always, poacher, and does it well.
Number 15, Mal Meninga, finally got on the field just for a couple of minutes.
Well, Ray, we've forecast right up here again. Our man of the match, and I think everybody's man of the match, Big Grizzly Adams, Noel Cleal.
Kevin Ward, and there is Noel Cleal, a fine game. Not just big, not just strong, but a good footballer. Andy Goodwin. Fox. To Crooks. Derek Fox. Well, looking to kick. Good dummy, all good ball to Schofield. But just look there. 2, 3 Australian shirts around the man with the ball. 40 minutes gone. Sean Edwards. To Crooks.
Looking at these Australians, Ray, I think really they must put something different in their cornflakes from what we're eating over here. Because every time they get the ball, they look as though they want to play with it, they want to run with it, and whatever happens, there's always a green and gold there.
Dowling. And offside. Mal Meninga. He was upset with that, Mal Meninga. I think he wanted a run. He's been sat on the bench all afternoon. And he was halted by an offside decision.
I think, Ray, actually, to give one big mention to this game is the referee, Mr. Rascagnier. I think he's had an absolutely magnificent game. He's kept the game open, and considering he can't speak English, he's had a magnificent and great match.
to Kenny. Kenny's got the pace again. O'Connor, has he got the legs? Well, he hasn't, but a beautiful pickup. But it's a hard grit necessary in a test match. But I think he'll be looking for those two, Gregory and Pinner, to bring a little ball play and a little bit of movement to this side. Something I think we've been lacking. But Australia, they're supremely confident. Just the one change.